Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing? So, when did we talk? Like 3 weeks ago, and you already have a deal? Wow. So you made 22 calls to laundromat owners, and you already have a potential deal with a guy that's what? He's 84 years old, 15 minutes from where you live. Great. Just to run through the numbers, he's doing 1750 to 2000 gross a week. He has 2500 to 3000 monthly expenses, so his net profit is 4,500 to 5,000 a month, and he's asking 150,000. Is it on the market? Does anyone else know about this deal with you?
He said, "Hey, you might want to go by and talk to this guy. I think he might be interested in selling."
Okay, great. So let's say just to use round numbers, it's making about 60,000 a year in profit. He's selling it to you for about or for 150,000, which is fantastic. That's less than a 3x, which is good for laundromats these days. So what questions do you have?
So financials, is there anything big? Like, I don't think he's going to be able to provide like tax returns.
I agree with you. I don't think he's going to have tax returns or profit and loss statements. Maybe he'll have the tax returns, but at the very least, hopefully he has something that can show the monthly revenue because this is a small enough business that you don't necessarily need to worry about every last bit of cost because this is a basic business. Like, are there any staff there or no? It's just an open space.
So he pays $850 in rent for the laundromat, and he goes in every day.
Okay.
And so I was going to say the only reason he goes in is because it's not automated. So he sells like laundry detergent behind the counter, and he gets cash from the customers and gives them coins. So I went in there and watched a couple days, and anyway, I talked to a customer, and she said she loves the dryers. I asked about theft because it's not a killer area, but it's in an area with high traffic laundromat use, I think.
That's what you want. You don't want a killer area for the laundromat business because people in killer areas got, washing machines in their houses. I think it all makes sense. So do you want me to just look at your questions here that you're going to be asking them for?
Tell me if any of this is a waste of my time. Revenue, they can send me water bill, gas bills, just to kind of do like a cross reference
Yep.
on, and then the rent is the big thing, I think, because like that 850, if they sell it, I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, somebody new here, let's go up on the rent.
Yeah, they might, but at the same time, like they know that they're not going to get, they're only going to get market rent regardless, whether they rent it to you or rent it to someone else. So like businesses that we've bought before where there's already a lease in place and we have to sign a new lease, it's been fine. They haven't tried to gouge us or anything. So I don't think that's a major sticking point in the deal. Everything else, I think what you're showing looks great. I think you have a strong chance of seller financing because it's only 150,000 bucks. So from my experience on these smaller deals, it's pretty likely people will seller finance because it's not like they're getting a big bag that they're going to retire on anyway. So I think I think that sounds like you have a viable option to potentially try to seller finance as well. On the transition period and him staying involved in the laundromat for a while, that's cool and could be fine. I don't think it's as much of a need as if you were buying some business that has a ton of moving parts, a huge staff team, whatever. So I don't know that you'll need him for that long, but I think that's great that he's willing to help out once you take it over. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess a lot of these laundromats, they're just kind of open. Like anyone can walk in. There's nothing to steal from there. So my goal if I was you would be to figure out how to run this laundromat with no staff whatsoever. And if, just have it be automated at all times. And that's how I see most laundromats are these days anyway. So I think that's very doable for you.
At the same time, like you said, you don't want it to be in a high net worth area where the people got washing machines in their downstairs floor and master bedroom.
For sure. Let's talk about the money. How are you going to get the money? My suggestions would be I would try to start at like $50,000 down and then the remaining, I wouldn't worry too much about discounting the price because I think it's fairly priced and it may throw off the deal and you can try like, hey, I'll pay 140 instead, like whatever. That may work, but for me, the more important thing would be to have cash on hand right now and not dispense of all your cash as you mentioned. So I would probably tell them, hey, I'll give you $50,000 down, and then the other, 100,000, I'll pay you over the course of 5 or 7 years or something like that. with a normal interest rate, maybe like 8 or 9% on those payments, and see if he'll go for that. Maybe he goes for it, or maybe he doesn't, and see and maybe he wants more. If it gets to the situation where he wants more, and you still think it's a great deal, then maybe you get investors or someone else to put in the money for you. But regardless, I think there's definitely a deal to be had here.
What do I need to plan to do as an uplift?
Yeah, let me take a look at the photos right here. I mean, I think the outside is okay. Maybe clean up, those plants and stuff, but other than that, it's fine. Yeah, see, I see what you're saying here. So he probably does have a staff person there all day because of all that stuff he has behind the counter. So that's what's going to become challenging to you, because if you think about it this way, let's say he's making 150,000, but that's because his work is free, or I assume his work is free without seeing as a P&L. So let's say you put someone in there for $12 an hour at 10 hours a day, and then let's say 350 days out of the year, that's $42,000. So putting a staff person in there could gobble up a huge part of your. That's a dangerous part of the deal. That's what you got to think through, and you got to ask him. I would ask him that, like, we could be wrong. Maybe he's going to say, like, yeah, I'm here like a few days a week, but the other 5 days I pay someone to be here. So maybe he's already spending money on that, right? I can't imagine he's working there for free either. So you got to get deep into that. He's got to be able to provide you, even if it's not a profit and loss statement, he's got to be able to provide you with some kind of payroll reports. Like, show me the past year, who you're paying to work here and how much you're paying them to work here, because maybe it's a big challenge with the business where you're going to have to pay a bunch of staff, or maybe he's already paying a fair amount of staff, and so it's not going to be that big of a problem for you paying staff yourself because he's already paying staff. The inside, looking at it on the inside, I think it looks fine. I think the outside looks fine too. It's not the Ritz-Carlton; it's a laundromat, so I think it's good enough. It's not a priority. You changing the floor is not going to get any of these people around there to come there and spend money if they weren't going to otherwise. I would just clean it up like the old-fashioned way yourself. Maybe a little touch-up paint, fix a couple rusty, whatever. Like I would just slowly work on it yourself. I wouldn't pour any upgrade money into this. It's not going to do anything for you. Yep, agreed. That's your big risk in this deal is the staff cost. So quick math that we did, it's going to eat up at least a third of the profit. So 150 just turned into 100. And the challenge with the 100 is if you're paying him payments each month, then that's coming out of the 100 too. So next thing you know, you have a business that's making 20 or 30 grand. And you don't want to do that because it's going to be a lot of time and effort for you. So that is a big part of this deal is what is he really spending on staff cost? And what are you going to have to pay to replace him? If he's down there 7 days a week working for free, that's tough to replace by paying for it. And it's also for him, it makes it a really tough business to sell because that means the only other person that he's going to be able to sell it to is someone like him that wants to just live in the damn place all day, which a lot of people don't want to live in a laundromat. Maybe just remove the retail section if it's not making that much money, like the stuff that he sells, and maybe just leave the door unlocked and just have just the machines in there. And that way, what's your risk? Is someone going to come in and break something in there? I mean, maybe. Are they going to steal one of these massive laundry machines? Probably not. You could have a security system put in there at night. Or maybe you pay someone or you do it yourself and you find a person you can pay just to unlock it and lock it every night. But I would be looking to do it automated. For him, it probably makes sense to sell all the stuff because he doesn't have anything to do with his time. So he might as well just sit there and sell people, laundry detergent. But the truth of the matter is, and that's another thing you should be asking for, is what is the breakdown of sales between the machines and the money that they make, and then whatever you sell behind the counter. You may come to find out that the stuff he sells behind the counter is only like 3% of the overall sales and not even worth doing in the first place. So I think it's just figuring out how much does he sell from the stuff behind the counter, what percentage of the sales are that, and then how often does he have an employee working there? Those are the things you just got to dig into because on the surface it's a fantastic deal, but if you dig a little deeper, maybe it is, maybe it's not. But what I would tell you so far, though, dude, put this aside. What I would tell you is this is clear that this is working. So just keep doing this. Even if this deal falls apart, do not be deterred because you're already getting deals and you just began. You need to make this your life's mission. And 3 years from now, when we're on the phone, you're going to be talking about the 6 or 7 businesses that you own and you're going to be crushing with this. So you got to keep going.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I just hop on the phone get on the Google Maps and just call.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing, dude. You're doing the right thing. Just keep pushing, keep looking for deals, keep talking to business owners. This is only a matter of time and you're going to get a deal done. I mean, look again, when did we talk? A month ago? 3 weeks ago? There you go, bro. Less than a month you've been doing this and you already have a potential deal. Imagine doing this every month for the next fucking 30 months. You're going to have 2 or 3 deals. Keep going. And as you get to the end of laundromats, expand to other types of businesses and keep going. This is going to work for you. It's only a matter of time till it works and a matter of effort. So just keep pushing and eventually you're going to get a deal done. It's going to be great. Then you're going to get another one done again. And then how old are you now? Yeah, you're 24. By the time you're 35, you're going to have 20 businesses. That's going to be a problem. And I don't know the answer to that because you're kind of going with your gut. And obviously he could be lying, right? That's the problem with these laundromats too. Dude, I've seen laundromats. This is how hot they are right now. I've seen laundromats sell to people, and the owner will not provide anything as far as numbers. And when I say anything, anything, the owner basically says, like, I'm selling my laundromat for $250,000. Take it or leave it. And so people will call and say, like, okay, hey, I saw the laundromat for $250,000. I just want to ask you some questions about the financials. And the guy's like, no, you're not asking me any questions. Either you want to buy it or you don't. And laundromats are so hot right now that people will take that risk and buy it for 250 grand without knowing about the numbers. And maybe they make good money or maybe they get crushed. I don't know, but it's not that uncommon. So I'll be very interested to see what he has as far as records at all. But he might not have that much for you, and we can address at that point. But it obviously makes the deal a lot harder. That's for sure. If you can't get the numbers, it's going to make the deal a lot more confusing. That's clear. I think it's a fantastic opportunity. And look, man, again, if this deal doesn't work out, it shows you that this is a real thing. There are people that want to retire and sell their businesses, and they are all around you. Look at this, 15 minutes away from you, a guy has a business he's going to sell to you that could potentially cash flow you 50 or 60 grand a year with very minimal effort. I mean, you are on your way. You just got to keep pushing. And that's the thing, dude. Even when you find out more information about this, don't get lost on this deal. Keep looking for other deals everywhere you go. Every time you drive down the street, knock on a door or talk to somebody, whatever, you're going to get more and more deals. I already know what's going to happen.
At what point does it get too smaller? Is it ever?
Well, so I think it depends on effort as well. It also depends on deal structure. So if you have a bank loan and a business that you need to work a ton in, then I don't really love 150K of profit. But if you have a laundromat that it's going to have seller financing and it's not going to take a bunch of your time, and this is a first deal for you, I love this deal. I don't see any problem with it. I think you're going to end up spending 2 to 3 hours a week on this thing, and it's going to make you 50 or 60 grand a year, and people are going to need to wash their laundry for a long time to come. So I don't see any reason, even me, if I found this deal, it's kind of small, but at the same time, I'd be attracted. If someone wanted to seller finance it to me and they said, hey, this laundromat makes 60 grand, I'll seller finance it to you at 150, I still would consider it. Now for you, brand new in the game, a young gun, it makes all the sense in the world. Get your feet wet. It's a consistent business. It's going to be great. If we start to see any red flags that either it's going to take a lot more money, a lot more time, whatever, that's one thing. But other than that, I would give this thing a go and keep kicking the tires on it. Yes. Dude, there's no question. Listen, the only reason everybody is not doing off market is because people are fucking lazy or they're nervous about talking to people or whatever else. But there is no question on this earth that the better deals are in off market. And there's no question on this earth that you, as a person out there competing to buy businesses with everyone else that wants to buy businesses, your upper hand is your willingness to call anybody, knock on any door, talk to anybody. That is how you are going to win at this. Yeah, so let me tell you, when I first opened my first bar, my mom was terrified. She didn't know about it. She said, restaurants are open 365 days a year. You got to work nights. You don't have holidays. When I opened that bar, I smashed so hard that after that, everybody that didn't believe in it became a believer. So I would not worry about your parents being the final sign off on this. Now, just consider the worst case scenario. let's say you lose $50 or $100,000 on this and it all goes to hell. And your parents say, see, we told you you shouldn't have done that. Are you still going to be alive? Yes. Are you still going to be able to work on other deals? Yes. Are you still going to be 24 or 25 years old with your whole fucking life ahead of you? Yes. So I wouldn't worry about every fucking person's opinion on this unless they're putting the money up themselves. Let me put it to you that way. Yeah, let me tell you another story. My boy from JMU, he's up in Buffalo. Him and his wife started deciding they're going to look at businesses. They looked at a laundromat. His wife saw it. She drove by 3 days later and she saw a bunch of people that she didn't think were that attractive looking outside the laundromat, and they killed the deal. My boy said, yeah, there wasn't a lot of good people in that area. I say, you don't want a laundromat in Beverly Hills because all those people have mansions with washing machines, dude. You want a laundromat that's in a rough area where people cannot afford to have a washing machine, so they go to the fucking laundromat. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're not using anybody. This is just what it is. And so you're looking at the right business in the right location. Don't listen to people who just say, oh, that's a bad area. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You're looking at the right business in the right area. Don't doubt yourself. Got it, brother. I'll talk to you soon. Text me or call me after you get more info. We'll keep talking through it.